Allie Edwards, and welcome back to another episode of Craft the Story. This week I decided I would take you along with me here in the office as I do some organizing. I think it's a little bit of like a summer mood, or the transition and change of seasons that is inspiring me. Also, finishing up a big project like Week in the Life almost always inspires me to clean up my office as I get ready for whatever the next project is going to be. So let's take a look and see what's happening around here right now. All right, so one of the first things that you're going to see here is that I am in the middle of organizing my cards, specifically my journaling cards. So my 3x4 and my 4x6 cards. I'm also kind of going through my stamps at the same time, but my main goal with this current little organizing project here was to deal with my cards. So cards from the story kit, cards from Stories by the Month, cards from other potential projects that we offer that are in those sizes. And so I saw that scrapbook.com had these new organizer boxes, and we actually have something that's kind of similar to this that's in the works for December Daily that you guys will see later this year. They're not exactly the same. It's a similar in terms of a little organizing box, but I think you guys are gonna love that for December Daily too. It's actually something that we had hoped to have to offer last year, but the production didn't happen to the way that we wanted it to happen. So you should see that with this year's December Daily. But I ordered these boxes from scrapbook.com, and I think that they are great for organizing cards specifically. So let's talk about this first one is Stories by the Month. I added in the little letter stickers there on the bottom. What's great about this is that I've just gone through, and you can see I've got January through December, and I've just added in any of the 4x6 cards that I have from past Stories by the Month January kit. So it's really simple and easy if you're doing monthly documentation, yearly documentation that goes by the month. It's got 2 spots here that are for the 4x6 cards, and then 4 spots in the back there that are for the 3x4 cards. And I'm also adding, and I'm going through and finding a bunch of the 3x4 stamps that we had for Stories by the Month kits too. So I've just put the cards in here. I'm storing the letter sticker, or the stickers that come with the kit. That right now, those are over in this one right here, where I've got like alpha and numbers there, just kind of starting the process. Label stickers, that's going to be in there. Word phrase stickers. I actually kind of need a box that has more 4x6 cards, I think, than 3x4. That's kind of what I'm feeling like as I'm organizing this right now. Now, in the past, I've used these IKEA boxes, which are DRAGAN. You can get them at IKEA, and they come in a couple different sizes. It's like a little set, but those have worked great, and I've always had things vertically in this way. I'm just kind of mixing it up, trying something else. The other thing that it does when I take something like this and reorganize it, it's always a great opportunity to figure out, okay, what things am I actually not using anymore, or what things can I share or donate with someone else? And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm giving myself a little bit of space to be able to do that. And then the other box here is story kits. And the way that I'm organizing the story kits, and yes, I break my kits up. So, those ones are kind of still together by the month, but the story kit ones I break up. And in the 4x6, I've got my first section here are sentiments. So these are all, phrases, quotes, things that I wouldn't write on there. They're not journal cards in the same way that it has space for writing. These are just sentiment-based cards. So super easy to be able to pull those out and add those into a project. So I've got sentiments, and then I have journal cards. So these would be any ones that had space for writing on them. Okay, so that's journal cards. And then I also did one for patterns. So sometimes we have cards in the kits that just have full patterns on them. So those are the ones that I'm sticking in there. And then I haven't started organizing these ones in the back yet, but I'm gonna do something similar where it's like sentiments, journal cards. And then I was also thinking about doing one section of cards that could be cut up. That's one of the things that I like to do with my 3x4 cards. So those white boxes then will go down below under my table here. And you can see right now I've got like stamps, more stamps than I could ever use, right? Stamps, and then my white cardstock and my vellum and my transparencies. That's all right there. I have felt down below here. And then these are, I've got like these big trays that I can pull out. Some of my punches are on that one, and then the rest of the punches are just down here. And I've kept most of these because I do come back and use them at various points in times. There are some that I haven't used for years and years, but I like keeping those as a tool. So those white boxes there will most likely sit down here. That's still my initial plan. Or I could leave them out on my table here too. I've got some, like when I organize my chipboard, I still have those are sitting here because it's just easy access. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about as I'm doing this. So this is obviously very much in progress. Excuse me. With these boxes, you can also get the dividers. I think it's a separate purchase if I remember right. So I just went ahead and wrote the months right on there. All right. So one other thing you might see here on my desk, I'm kind of thinking about doing a summer traveler's notebook. That's one of the little ideas that I wrote down recently. So I just took one of the Art of Noticing notebooks. I think the ones that we have available in the shop right now are yellow. I just had some of the gray ones left over. And I took this is from a card in the June Stories by the Month kit that says summertime is always the best of what might be. But I'm thinking I might just use one of these to hold some random summertime stories. I like the idea of having something that's like really flexible, not huge, it's not necessarily a big album sort of project, but just as stories come up, I can add them in there. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I've pulled out a couple other little projects or little products that could go along with that. Next up for me is working on the Laugh story kit, classroom stuff. That's what I'm going to be also working on today. Let's see, what else have I done? Another thing I did in here is I've got my paper, like these paper trays. I got these at scrapbook.com a million years ago. I don't even, a long time ago. I think that they still have something like that available. So what I did is I went and I organized my pattern paper. I don't have a ton, but I do have a little bit more than I have recently. So what I'm doing right now is I've got the stuff from the scrapbook kit. So the scrapbook kit that we're offering, a quarterly one now, got that on the top. Then I have a bunch of papers from Vicky Bouton, which are really bright rainbow. I'm kind of into those right now. A black and white one, and then like a blue-green stack here, and then like a pink warm color, like cool color stack and a warm color stack. That's how I decided to divide it up right now. I also have a ton of divided page protectors in that 6x8 size. So those are on my table here to be organized into the little sections that I have here for those. And then I do have the new circle scrapbook kit here is on my out and waiting for me to do something with it. So that is also on my list of things to do. Just kind of trying to go around and clean up a little bit, figure out what things can be shared and donated, getting ready for some other stuff. We've got travel products coming out later this month. The other thing that's been really fun for me lately is I've been doing these morning marks on a page, just morning marks, playing in my art journal. So here's a little bit of a look of what that setup is. So I have this side of my table is here for art journaling sorts of stuff. So I kind of have everything on there, which is making it really easy to walk in here in the morning and do a couple things. And I'm just making a mess. There's no point to this project other than just giving myself an opportunity to be playful and make mistakes and just have that be the way that I start my day. And then on the other side is where I'm doing more of the scrapbooking and memory keeping projects. And you can see just, in progress organization, a bunch of different boxes that now I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to use that, use those for the cards. Another thing you guys might be wondering, I have gone through and culled or winnowed down my cards too. So, you know, but the 4x6 and 3x4 cards that I have here are ones that I feel like there's a strong possibility that I would use in the future, and the other ones I have donated or will be donated and sharing with friends. But here also just then is a look like, it's just random. It's just marks. It's just kind of having fun with playing with color, you know, giving myself an opportunity to be a little more free. This one is like just a regular kind of paper journal sort of thing that's not anything beyond, oh yeah, now I just, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. See, oh, I just added to the thing. That was still wet. That's why I'm saying that. And then I have this one over here. This one I had worked on earlier in the week. And then I tried to do like a rose stencil on here with black today. And then my video didn't record, of course. And so then I just kind of smudged it all around, but I'll probably end up painting over the top of that. But I'm just playing, right? This is my opportunity to just make a mess and make marks on a page that don't have anything to do with anything other than me having some joy in the morning and helping. I think it helps me to like release my creative brain a little bit before I sit down at my table. So I'm gonna go with that as the reason for what's happening. Lots of other stuff on the desk here. Of course, there's always a wide variety of things. The main thing I just want to keep working on here is the organization, getting this organized. This just feels good for me. And then probably starting on that summer traveler's notebook. I think that's going to be super fun. And in case you don't, you know, if you've never heard, traveler's notebook is really just a notebook. It doesn't have to be for travel. Of course, I'm just going to use it for some summer stories. And here's a look at like, here's another one that I've done before. We'll see which one this one is. Oh, this is one from actual traveling. So this is one when Aaron and I went to Las Vegas. This was actually right before the pandemic, but I love the full page photos. I've used this style for a few different projects here that I have just here on my desk, easy to pull out. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at in the office right now. That's what I felt like would be a good update for you guys this week, and I hope to be back with some more projects for you soon.